Welcome once again to Life and Living with Samson Olatunji. You will remember that in one of our past discussions, we spoke about double dating. And in it, we recognize the fact that one of the reasons a woman would be happy when the fiancé or boyfriend tells her that I have another girl or I have some other girls, but you are the one I love more or most, as the case may be, and the lady will be happy. We say one of the reasons that happens is that the lady does not recognize love. She does not know what love is. In fact, the man himself doesn't know what love is. And then we were able to see that one reason people don't know what love is that they don't see love around them. They don't see love in their parents' marriage. They don't see love in the marriages of their significant others. And so what they see is what they recognize as love. And we drew an analogy between that and a machine that is made to detect fake currencies. We said the machine is calibrated, and part of the process is that genuine currency is passed under the satellite of that machine repeatedly, perhaps for days or weeks, until it absorbs all the characteristics of that currency and it stores that in its memory. So the next time there is any currency of that type that passes under the light and there is the slightest difference imaginable, the currency will pick out the difference and reject that fake. And so is it with the issue of love. If the wrong kinds of love is what has passed through the searchlight of the life of a man or a woman, that fake is what he or she will recognize to be love. And so we'll not even be aware that true love is possible or there is any other thing. As it is with the machine, if it had been the wrong, maybe a fake currency that passes through it right from the outset repeatedly and it absorbs all the features of that, even when a genuine type of that currency is passed under it, it will reject it. And that's why when you talk about love, to some people, they think you are speaking about something that you can find only in heaven. And that's why we want to talk about some critical factors that we need to be on the lookout for when we want to recognize true love. Before we do that, I would implore you, if you are yet to subscribe to the channel, to do so quickly. And for those who have done so but are yet to click on the notification bell, please do that. Some people that I've met who have subscribed to the channel are not always aware when there is a new video. One way to be aware is to click on the notification bell so you'll be notified when the video comes out. Then feel free to share this message with people you are sure have something to gain or contribute to the discussion. Thank you. We are going to meet very soon. We swing into action and look at features of true love. Thank you. Now let's get going. I would love us to start with one story I read many years ago, maybe over 30 years ago. It's a piece of fiction that I read. I can't remember the name of the author again. However, I remember the storyline. And I give kudos to my elder sister from another family, from another womb, Sister Lara Ahmed, now Lara Adeyemi. She is a voracious reader, and she was the one that first read the book and gave to me, which I enjoyed, and I can never forget the content of the story. The story is titled A Kiss in the Dark. I will just summarize the story. I can give you the details. A Kiss in the Dark, in the dark. It's the story of a lady dancer who had some health challenges, but she was feeding herself and her younger sister from the proceeds of dancing. But that ailment would make her to just faint, and even the colleagues knew that she would be revived automatically again. If they tried to wait for her and she didn't wake up, they would go. And this one fateful evening, she performed excellently. She was the master of the show, so to say. But towards the end of the performance, she fell down and she fainted. The colleagues waited for her while packing their things, and she didn't wake up, so they left. She was left there in the dark. In fact, the janitor of the place didn't notice her again, had closed the hall and had switched off the light. But as she was waking up, she heard footsteps, and the person who had the footsteps just grabbed her and gave her a kiss. It was like a kiss she had never experienced before. There was something peculiar about that kiss. And as she wanted to scream, the man just ran away. And so she forgot about it. But one fateful evening, while on board a ship, she overheard a man quarreling with his wife. The wife was weeping profusely, and the man was just lambasting her. And she heard the cry of a baby. She was touched in her heart, and she went into the cabin and saw the man and his wife. With compassion, she took the woman's baby, cared for him and all that. And from that, a relationship developed between him and that family. One fateful day again, the man came up behind her and then planted a kiss on her lips. And she recognized that unique kiss. Oh, so you are the one that kissed me at that dance venue? Why did you do so when you are married and all that? Well, the man began to lament that he had made a mistake, got married to the wrong woman. Well, this lady, being from a well-cultured home, she advised the man, well, you have no reason to reject your wife. You have married her, blah, for better, for worse, the death do us part and all that. But the fondness between them began to grow, and this lady was almost losing control sometime. Meanwhile, this man had been asking his wife for a divorce, and the woman was about to agree when she detected that her husband had some kind of unique feelings for this lady. That was what made her to say, no, I will not allow you to go and get married to that lady dancer, that useless woman, and there was trouble. After some time, the man decided to make up with his wife, and unfortunately, there was an accident on horseback. The woman died, but the man was the prime suspect. He began to reminisce how he came to become the woman's wife. Now, this is where the story is relevant. He remembered that, well, it was his best friend who had gone to war that he heard had died at the war front. And he learned that his wife had a wife and a child. For the love he had for the wife, for the friend now, he traced the woman, met her, and that woman was now his wife. Then he remembered that he never ever loved that woman. What he felt for her was pity. He was filled with pity for the wife of his best friend. And that was how something developed between them, and decided to get married to this woman. That happened because he couldn't recognize love. He mistook pity for love. Well, the good thing about the story was that when it was almost very certain that he was going to be executed for murdering his wife, the truth about the cause of that accident was detected, and so he was free. That was how he got married to the lady dancer. He didn't know love. It was pity that he felt. And the same thing happens. I have seen cases like that of friends who are ladies who got married for the wrong reasons that they mistook for love. I've seen many cases of men too who are living in regret now because what they felt was love wasn't love. Had they been able to know that some things might feel like love, they would have questioned, they would have scrutinized their feelings, whether sensual or in the mind, to know whether what they felt was love or not. This man would have even have died because he got married to somebody he didn't know he didn't love. And even though he wasn't killed, he went through hell for years. Where somebody may just put this aside as just non-fiction, where by God's grace I am to be modest, I'm an accomplished fiction writer. I know nobody writes a piece of fiction from nowhere. Even fiction is what happens in life. So what do you feel that you think is love? Now, let me give us a classic example of what love could be, true love could be. I also read a story over 30 years ago. The story is titled A Tale of Two Cities by Charles Dickens. A Tale of Two Cities, let me give you a summary of that. And we can see a classic example of what true love is. It's about one man called Charles Danny, another one, Sidney Carton, his friend, and a lady, Lucy Manet. Lucy Manet, Charles Daniel sometime went to Lucy Manet, oh, I love you, I want to marry you, and all that. And eventually, Lucy Manet agreed to get married to Charles Daniel. Shortly after that, Sidney Carton also came and said, well, Lucy Manet, I've seen you are an exemplary woman. I would love to marry you. I know you've been telling me that I've not been leading a good life all this while, just drinking, getting drunk and all that. But now I believe that if I get married to you, I will have a reason to live and live well. The man said, oh, I'm sorry you came a bit too late. Your friend, Charles Daniel, has come and I've given him my word. Of course, we have always told you, you are a brilliant man, you are handsome, only that you live your life just carelessly. Just brush up your life and you are going to have somebody very great to get married to. Sidney Carton told Lady Manet some profound things. Are you sure you love Charles Daniel? She said yes. Are you sure he loves you also? Oh, I'm very sure. He now made a promise that because of the love I have for you, there is nothing I have to give in order to make your marriage to Charles Daniel successful that I will never give. And what happened? Yes, a few months later, Charles Daniel went back to his homeland in France, and that was at the time of the French Revolution. He was from the aristocratic family, and people from that family were being killed. So Charles Daniel was arrested and was to be executed someday. The news got to Lady Manet in England, and she became mentally crushed. Sidney Carton did something. He arranged to take Lady Manet somewhere on train and told her, I'm going to rescue your husband. I can't bear to see you unhappy. I'm very sure your husband will come and meet you at a social time. Just wait here on the train and Then he went to the place in France. He knew that people had said he and Charles Daniel they looked alike. If not for the way he would keep his hair unkempt. So he now went and disguised like an old man. Before he disguised, he went to France and he began to cause trouble so that people could see that this is Charles Daniel's look-alike. But they knew from his accent and every other thing that he was English, not French. So after getting himself noticed all day, in the evening he disguised as an old man and he went to the prison where Charles Daniel was being kept. Then he pleaded to see Charles Daniel before his execution the following day. They allowed him. He got in there and told Charles Daniel, the woman you love is losing her life because you are about to die. Let me take your place and die so that you may go to that woman. Charles Daniel, being a very good man, said, no, I wouldn't do that. My family people committed atrocities and I'm about to be killed for it. You don't have any business in this. Then Sidney Carton just began to castigate him, saying, and you say you love this woman and you want to get yourself killed and get the woman miserable all the days of her life. If I were you, I would quickly jump at this opportunity. And so because of that woman, after talking to Charles Daniel agreed. They swapped costumes. Charles Daniel walked out like the old man. Sidney Carton remained like Charles Daniel. The following day, Sidney Carton was executed, thought to be Charles Daniel. By that time, Charles Daniel had escaped and had gone to meet his dear wife. Now, the crux of the matter is this. Charles Daniel demonstrated real love. He intended to get married to Lady Manit. That was not going to happen, but he vowed that he was ready to give anything, and he gave his life so that the woman he loved might enjoy her marriage to another man. If there is a woman who says, I love you, and is ready to fight over you just to fight in order to have you, that is, you need to think twice. That may not be love. Or there is a man who is ready to kill. The way he wants to show his love is that he's ready to kill any man who comes near you in the name of love. That is not love. Sidney Carton signifies true love. You would not say by all means you are going to hook up with the person you love. No, it's not by all means. It is with consideration for the well-being of the person you say you love. So why don't you begin to think about your love life? What category does your lover belong, whether a man or woman? Is your lover's or your supposed lover's way of demonstrating love is to make sure that he or she has you at all costs? Then that is not love. When you love somebody, you make that person free. The person's desire will be the utmost, not yours. So if you begin to apply this to your life, as a man or as a woman, I'm very sure, and you don't think you are expecting too much, or you are, that you're expecting too much, then you are most likely to be able to recognize true love. You're most likely to be able to demonstrate love, to know whether you love somebody or you don't. You will apply the principle of that song in one of Bob Marley's productions. Is this love? Is this love? Is this love that I'm feeling? I want to know when I know right now. So you ask yourself, is this love that I'm demonstrating? Is this love that I'm looking at in my partner? Then we can have a better life. Because one thing is, God knows that a man cannot be alone and be successful. A woman cannot be alone and be successful except in those who have some unique assignments. But for a normal man, an average man, you need love. But without love in your marriage, forget about the ultimate as regards success. Thank you for listening. Catch you some other time.